Hey guys, Amelia here. Thanks for watching. I'm so excited for this video because it's really cool. And today I'm showing you how to develop swing and cadence in the trot. This is one of those kind of magical and elusive pieces of dressage. We all hear from all the top riders like Charlotte Dujard and Carl Hester, Stefan Peters. Everyone says, you know, you have to start with a good walk and a canter, but the trot, you can make it. Now the puzzle is, how do you make that, right? You start out with kind of a choppy, flat trot on a lot of these horses, and how do you teach them that expression and that cadence and that reach through the shoulder and the front leg? That's the hard part, and that's the magic of it. And as with everything in dressage, there is no magic bullet. It's something that takes a lot of slow, consistent training, but there is a technique to how to do it. So I'm going to show you today two horses. I'm going to start with Mercurio. I showed you guys a video a few months ago of developing the trot on him, and he's made a ton of improvements since then. So I'll link the old video below. You can go back and check out what he looked like then and compare it to now. And I'm also going to show you a younger horse who's a few years behind Mercurio, and we're going to compare them, and so you guys can see the progression of how this trot is developed. Both of these horses are PREs. PREs tend to have a lot of talent for like the sitting work, the piaffe, the pirouettes, but it can be a challenge with the PREs to teach them more like the passage and the cadence and the swing in the trot. But these two horses are super talented, they're very athletic, they're super smart, fun to work with, so they're going to get it, even though it's not so natural for them to carry the swing and cadence in the trot. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also sign up for my email list. The link's below. You'll get a ton of great information coming right to your inbox. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is Mercurio. I believe he's 9 this year. This is the end of our ride. So after I've done my warm-up and all my canter work, and he's really developing this cadence really nicely. This is what we call a second trot. So it's a little bit manufactured, but he's really starting to reach and swing through his body to where this would become more of his collected trot. If I were going to ride a third level test, I would try to keep this much cadence and swing in the trot. And you notice I'm sitting the trot, which when I first am teaching the swing and the cadence, I usually do it in rising, but he's getting strong enough that I can sit the trot. So here I'm showing some half steps. And since Mercurio has a lot of talent for the piaffe, and the piaffe really helps get his hind end underneath of him and get him sitting, I use some little baby half steps to then take that forward into my nice cadence trot. So if your horse does know the half steps and a little piaffe, it can really help for you to develop this cadence trot. So here you can see I'm bringing him a little bit back from the trot into some half steps, and then I'm trying to slowly take that forward back into the trot. And this is also where you start to develop those transitions into and out of the piaffe, which you need in the Grand Prix. And you can see at times Mercurio is still a little bit unsteady in the contact, but I will link below the other video I did of him. And you can see that this cadence and swinging in the trot is getting a lot easier and a lot more confirmed from him. And basically the way that I'm teaching him to hold this cadence, it's kind of a mix of seat, leg, and hand. There you could see when I brought him back to the half steps, he was a little fussy in his head. Anytime that he fusses with his head, it's because he doesn't want to engage his hind legs. But this is just something that over time I'm working on. And here I'm stretching him. It's important to give them lots of breaks. Okay, so now we transition to another PRE. And this guy is a little younger. He's only 7. And he's not as confirmed in the cadence trot, but you could see there I was using a little bit of a leg yield to help him find a bit more swing and reach in his trot. So this horse one day is going to trot like Mercurio. It's just a matter of teaching him how to do it. And I wanted to show you a more green horse and kind of how I'm working on this. You'll notice that I'm in rising trot. You'll notice that I have some moments where he fusses, but you see there, he really got a nice trot lengthening. And in the trot lengthening, his strides, the tempo of his strides get longer and he gets more suspension. So I'm using the trot lengthening coupled with some little leg yields to help him find that suspension. Then eventually, once he's able to sustain the suspension in the lengthening trot, I'll just start bringing that back more into cadence. So here I'm showing just a little bit of shoulder in work. I'm going to do some shoulder in and haunches in. You'll notice I alternate a lot between posting and sitting because he doesn't really have a lot of swing and cadence, and so it's easier to get that when I'm posting because then he doesn't have to carry my weight quite as much. So I still work a lot on shoulder in and haunches in because this is suppleness, and it's important that as you develop expression, you also work on keeping your horse supple and through. So it's not only that they trot super fancy, but they also need to be supple so that you could ride a half pass. Here I'm riding shoulder in again. Now at this stage in his training, it would be too much to expect him to really carry the cadence in this work. But later on, eventually, when he's more like Mercurio's level, I'm starting to teach Mercurio to carry the cadence of his trot into the lateral work. And there you notice I'm going posting trot again. Here I'm sitting again, but any time that he tightens up his back and gets choppy in the trot, I go to posting trot just to give his back freedom to move. And here I'm riding a little bit of a half pass left. So in between working on teaching this horse the cadence and the expression, I'm working on suppleness. So right there you could see a few really big kind of extended trot steps that he gave me. And that's where you see that it's possible. This horse is one day going to trot like Mercurio. It's just a matter of teaching him and teaching him to kind of load up his hind legs and then push. And it's always really important also to teach your horse to stretch and relax their back after this work. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and thanks for watching.